Hello and welcome to COVID-19 Local Impact on Your TV. I'm Dan Malta from the Your TV studios in Peterborough, and today is Feel Good Friday. We're not going to be providing you any of the updates from politicians. You're not going to be hearing about COVID-19 statistics in the area. We're just going to be focusing on some of the feel-good stories from the week that was. Starting off with the Peterborough Public Library, which allows you to sign up online for a library card, which gives you access to free music, movies, and ebooks. To help keep the community engaged, their Facebook page offers online book clubs, instructional craft videos, and story time for kids.
Normally you have to come into the library to sign up for a membership, but while we're closed, we actually have a form on our webpage that you can go in and fill out, and you just need to put all of your contact information, address, etc. And then we will actually we'll email you or call you and give you your card number right away, so you can have that the same day, but then we'll mail your card to you. And the cards are good for 3 months, and then after that point, if you want to renew, you can come into the library and we'll renew it for a longer period. But once you get your library card, anything that's on our library website, ptbolibrary.ca, you can access that once you have that card number. Any books or movies that people have out right now, we're just continuing to renew those, and we'll do so until the library reopens. So there's no fines on anything that people currently have in their home. The library book drop is open, although we're not able to check it every day. So if you drop something off, it may still show on your account for a few days. However, if people are more comfortable to keep them at home, that's totally fine.
My big Mr. Bullfrog here is here today to help tell stories about frogs.
Well, we've put a lot of our programs online now, so that hopefully people who were coming into the library for our story times, for instance, can log in through our Facebook page and see the same kind of interactive story times that we were doing previously. That's for children. We've got the story time videos. We're also doing a lot of book recommendations. So what we're reading Wednesday is the children's book recommendation program. And we also have Read, Watch, Listen with Karen, and that's adult recommendations, because a lot of people are now getting into ebooks, whereas before they might just come into the library and browse the shelves to find something interesting. So now we're trying to recommend some ebooks and audiobooks that people can sign out and enjoy using their computers. We have some live videos, so two of our programmers might be discussing what books they recommend for people. One that we just did recently was for people who miss Schitt's Creek, which is a popular sitcom that just ended. What are some books that kind of carry the same tone that people who enjoyed that show might enjoy? And then we also, when we're on Facebook, we have the ability to answer questions and respond to comments. One of our adult programmers, Karen, show people how to sew their own face masks. So we knew there was a call for donations for frontline workers, but that also a lot of people in the community just want to feel safe when they're grocery shopping. So she found a recommended template and then actually walked us through how to sew your own mask and how to fit it properly to your face.
Be sure to check out the Peterborough Library online. April 24th marked the one-year anniversary since ground was broken for Ed's House, Northumberland Hospice Care Centre. Mark Rockburn speaks with the Executive Director of Community Care Northumberland, Trish Baird, to find out how construction is continuing during COVID-19.
Right now, we meet every 2 weeks via teleconference, just to have our regular, what we would have called our site meeting, but it's by teleconference. Our architect is visiting the site on a weekly basis or bi-weekly basis, but the builder, Dahlgren Construction, has taken some great measures to make sure that the staff and the contractors are safe. So they do have hand wash stations. They have ensured that physical distancing takes place. They have staggered shifts, so there's not as many people in the building. And have screened employees as they come on. So right now, I'm sure there will be a little bit of delay in the final ending of the project. We were anticipating early June, and we will find out actually tomorrow how our timeline's going, but there hasn't been anything major that they have experienced. But there are some contractors that aren't comfortable coming in. But so far, everybody's been great at keeping those measures in place. What we have found is some of the equipment that we need to purchase for the building may be delayed, and usually it's the ones that are non-essential. So what we found, the furniture for the patient rooms, things like that are essential, but the furniture for the living room may not be considered essential. So they can continue building one versus the other, which, that's as long as we can have safe patients care in the center, the office furniture will be considered essential. So we are hoping that we will still be able to have our first people into the rooms September 8th was our date. We're still going with that. But we will keep everybody up to date if that changes.
Are you able to let us know where they are currently with construction phase? Because I know that I was by the site last week and drove by, and obviously the roof's on, but there's still some work that needs to be done on the outside. So if maybe we start where we are on the outside and then go, because we can't physically see inside, where we are on the inside as well.
Yeah, so certainly from the full project, at the end of March, we were 50% completed for the full project. So that was a good place to be. It also meant that our Ministry of Health final contribution to the project comes at the 50%. So we receive a little bit of an injection of cash, which is always great. So inside, drywalls happen both down on the lower level and upstairs. They're painting, they're looking at putting in, all of the mechanical and electrical is being worked on. So I haven't been inside myself because we are not allowed on the site, have not been allowed for the last 5 weeks. But through pictures, we see that things are progressing quickly. And we would hope that, that our flooring, those types of things will be completed over the next few weeks. Outside, there's certainly a lot of the retaining walls have been built. Certainly the landscaping isn't planned for a while. It's a pretty mucky site right now, but we'll be working on that in late spring. So yeah, 50%, we are past that, and seeing as we're halfway into April. Yeah, so we're still aiming for that June date.
We are happy to see progress being made at Ed's house. On Saturday, May 16th from 7 to 10 p.m., PTBO Strong is inviting you to tune in for COVID, an entertainment-filled evening to enjoy with the family at home. The show will be available on Your TV and on the PTBO Strong Facebook page. PTBO Strong encourages you to share this on your personal social media feeds and to donate through the Canada Helps link on the PTBO Strong Facebook page. The Art Gallery of Northumberland's Spotlight series is going virtual. The series will feature the owners of the Cardboard Reality Farm and Studio. Your TV's Mark Rockburn speaks with the series producer, Elizabeth Palermo, to find out more about the event.
The Spotlight series is about bringing our emergent and established artists from across the county into the gallery for an intimate and interactive performance space. We really want to get behind the artist's story and process and understand their journey in a smaller venue where we can intermingle and have some questions on the fly.
Who have you brought in the past, I guess?
We opened our first season 2 Septembers ago. We opened with Saskia Tompkins and her duo Two-ish. We've had a panel of 4 local authors discussing the common themes in their books and memoirs. We've had David Newland, and this past season we were featuring Stuart Ross, a local poet. He has his roots based in Toronto, but he's lived in Cobourg for the last several years. We were pleased to bring in also Shannon Linton, who's got such a variety in her musical background. So she carried us from a time and place where she was an opera singer all the way through her journey to being a pop singer here, folk singer, whose heart lies in living and singing and performing for her small town kind of audiences. Then we had the Northumberland Contemporary Dance Collective, which was really something new in the gallery to have 4 dancers on our small stage space. There were a lot of moving parts. It went over beautifully, and it was really something to see. And of course, then we wrap up this current season with Cardboard Reality Farm and Studio.
So let's talk about this Thursday's presentation and the fact that with the current world, the way the world sits, a lot of things are going virtual. So why did you guys decide to go virtual rather than maybe canceling the event altogether, seeing it usually brings new people into the art gallery?
Well, we still wanted a way to highlight their story. Becky and Keith have put a lot of heart and soul into their project. I have just personally been so thrilled to learn about them through their street front storefront on King Street in Coburg. So they have a lot of diverse, dynamic, beautiful artistic offerings. And we very quickly connected with them and said, look, of course, given the current situation, we'll have to cancel the in-person gathering, but how do you feel about going virtual? And they were thrilled and ready to take the lead on that right away.
So what are people going to learn about this Thursday?
Well, I think, foremost, we're just thrilled to still connect with our audiences. It might even be a broader reach because, of course, the internet. And so those who may not be able to come personally to Coburg, to the art gallery in Coburg, will be tuning in online. So it'll be interesting to see and get a sense of who's able to join us. They're going to hear from Becky and Keith their own journey and story. They're going to be coming up with their own musical interludes, sharing some musings. They will be screening a few short films of theirs. We'll get a sneak peek at Becky's latest short animated film, which was her thesis for her MA. And there'll be an opportunity for question and answer.
So how can people get involved?
Well, you got to log on to Facebook. If you don't have an account, then try to find your way there and look for the Art Gallery of Northumberland's page. We'll be live at 7 o'clock Thursday, April 30th.
The Canadian Forces Snowbird's signature 9-jet formation with trailing white smoke will be flying across the country starting in Nova Scotia this weekend, working west throughout the week. The team will release anticipated locations, routes, and times on their social media platforms each day. Flyovers will occur at an elevation no lower than 500 feet above all obstacles. Now a message from County Warden J. Murray Jones and Peterborough Medical Officer of Health Dr. Rosanna Salvaterra as they share a message for cottagers.
Hello, I'm Dr. Rosanna Salvaterra, Peterborough's Medical Officer of Health.
And I'm Warden J. Murray Jones of Peterborough County.
We have an important message to pass along.
But first, let's acknowledge the fact that we're all in this together.
And as any good hockey coach or theater director
or successful business owner will tell you, teamwork is the key to success.
We are a very big team right now.
Oh, and more than ever, we must work together.
And believe us when we say
we can't wait to watch hockey.
Or go to some local theater or to a good restaurant.
Or just plain go out.
It's been a challenge, to say the least.
And as the warmer weather pops up,
the bigger challenge will be around cottaging.
We know cottage owners are looking for clarity about whether or not they can visit their property.
The good news is the physical measures are working, but we must stay the course and stay home to avoid spreading COVID-19 to other communities.
Well, now is a crucial time to hold fast to the public health guidance, to stay home and self-isolate.
The April data shows that 60% of the new COVID cases are occurring in the GTA, where there's a greater amount of community spread, while smaller communities like ours are seeing a much slower rate of new cases.
We all need to do our part and keep up the physical distancing. Avoid gatherings over 5.
While it is possible to bring all your supplies with you and only visit the cottage with your household contacts, the province is asking that we limit all non-essential travel during this emergency order.
In Peterborough County, Many services are closed down for the time being, like marinas or non-essential businesses, and some of the roads may not be maintained. Our local year-round residents are worried about COVID-19 spreading into this area, especially when so many new cases are being reported in the major urban areas.
The request to avoid the cottage is only temporary, and the more cottagers who stay at home now, the quicker we can end these public health measures. We're not ready to let down our guard and relax our physical distancing measures just yet.
Our message is clear. Please, stay home for just a few more weeks until this pandemic emergency is over.
Thank you for helping us and for doing the right thing. And remember, if you're experiencing any symptoms of COVID-19, please stay home, don't travel anywhere, and get yourself tested.
Simply put, the best thing you can do is please stay home. We may be apart, but we're in this together. Thank you for your time.
As COVID-19 local impact continues on your TV, we'll bring you some more feel-good stories from the past week. Stay tuned. Welcome back to COVID-19 Local Impact on your TV. I'm Dan Malta. We're here for the Feel Good Friday show. The town of Coburg's emergency management team has set up an isolation facility for first responders and frontline medical staff. Coburg Police Chief Paul Vandegraff tells Mark Rockburn the isolation facility will provide a safe place for first responders to isolate and avoid putting their families at risk.
This is where the emergency control group really shows its mettle, and that emergency control group comes together. They speak about all sorts of things, and we quickly realized that there was going to be a need potentially for a relief base camp. So we were able to access some trailers from Owasco, which we were able to set up, and it was great ideas or great minds aligned. So the hospital was also looking for places for their doctors to park RVs. So as they ramped up and maybe had to work longer shifts, there was somewhere close where they could go and rest in between shifts. So as the great ideas came together, so was born the idea of the relief camp. We're ready to go, and as Graham Murchison always says, we are ready for whomever needs us, and I hope nobody needs us. So we're ready and prepared. Breakers has been absolutely phenomenal. Like I can't say enough about how great John and Andrea are down at the Breakers. They've been just tremendous, but we're just trying to alleviate the burden that they're bearing on our behalf. One is not in place of the other. They're going to run in parallel, but we're ready right now should we have to isolate one of our members.
With the base camp, Paul, I know there's been some talk of people in the community that should maybe funds be going towards that, because I know that there was a fence that was put up around it as well. But I think what people should know is that this was an effort that was made where everything has been donated to this base camp, as I understand it.
Yeah, again, it's a great effort of the town. Again, when you have an emergency control group that comes together, it really works. The Police Services Board had great connections with Owasco, so we were able to get those trailers. The town had great connections with some of their vendors from other products, so they were able to get some of the fencing. The town came together, Lucy came together to get that camp open up over Easter weekend, get the water running, get the hydro going, get the sewage open. So the goal is we're there, we're ready, and it was a community effort. And right now, we've had other small community donations from Pruitt, and I know I'm a Canadian Tire, Walmart. A few others have thrown in odds and sods, and that's awesome. But we're ready, and I don't think there's a call for money, but if there were ever a call for support, that would come from the emergency control group.
As of 3/28 on April 20th, Paul, has anybody had to use that facility yet?
And as of today, no, we have not had to use the facility. Again, we are ready. You plan for emergencies in advance of what may or may not happen. So we are ready in case we should require it. The previous isolation is just about wrapped up for that particular person. And we'll see what the future holds.
And one final question, Chief Integra. What's it mean to the frontline officers and medical personnel, fire, emergency services to know that they have somewhere to go, that it's not going to affect, that they cannot put their family in harm's way?
Like I've said many, many times, it's protecting our families, the members' families. So if a member is exposed, we have a decontamination center here at the station where their clothes can be washed here. They don't have to bring them home to the same washing dryer that their family uses. If a member has to isolate pending tests or for those 2 weeks, we're creating an environment, where maybe not ideal, but still we're creating an environment that provides safety for their family. So at least they know that they don't risk exposing their family to the coronavirus.
Certainly a great initiative in Northumberland. Community Care Peterborough has been revamping its services to seniors since the pandemic started. They offer social and exercise groups, fall prevention clinics, and more. Your TV's Mary Tendeshat speaks with Darcy Maude of Community Care Peterborough, who says their volunteers are calling seniors regularly to help them cope with the pandemic without talking about the pandemic.
And the purpose of the call is to talk about other things, to get your mind off of what's going on, to share stories, to have a laugh. That kind of thing is so important right now. And it's something that clients can look forward to. They know that weekly or twice a week, they're going to be having someone call in and have a conversation that is enjoyable and have a little bit of a break from what's going on. And in the city, we've done over 100 phone visits with clients in the last month.
You mentioned that some of your regular groups are either slowing down and then some are actually more popular than ever.
Yeah, so any of our programs that were coming together to meet are now on hold. So a lot of our offices throughout the county had coffee clubs weekly or drop-in art groups or craft clubs. We have very busy exercise and falls prevention classes, which are now on hold as well. We have an active diners clubs in most of our county offices where people come together monthly for a meal together.
And what are the programs that are actually picking up now during the pandemic?
So our telephone friendly visiting is one that's really growing. We also do telephone reassurance calls, which are a daily check-in to clients, just to make sure that they're doing okay. So the calls aren't as lengthy as they would be for that telephone friendly visiting, but it is a daily check-in to make sure everyone's okay. We are also seeing some increases in our Meals on Wheels deliveries, especially our frozen meals. We're seeing a lot of people ordering those frozen meals to have on hand.
And Meals on Wheels, obviously a very important program. Have there been any changes on how that's being delivered to the senior?
Most of our clients leave a little table outside of their door. The volunteer is able to put the meal on the table, knock, step back away from the door so that they can still see each other, but aren't interacting face to face there. So while we've been calling clients to check in and to see how everyone's doing, one thing that we were finding that was constantly coming up was some concern about grocery shopping and making sure that clients were able to get essential items into their home. So we have recently just started a new grocery delivery program and some grocery shopping for some of our clients. It is a program that's intended for clients who really don't have any other people or family in town that are able to help them with this. So our website currently does have a list of all of our services that we're continuing to offer at this time, so people can check out our website, or you could call our office and leave a message and we will return your call and we can talk about the different programs and services that we're able to offer right now.
Community Care Peterborough requires delivery workers to wear masks and gloves for their Meals on Wheels program. If you are able to help out, please contact Community Care Peterborough. If you're looking forward to going out for a meal when this crisis is over, you can help make sure your favorite restaurant is still there when that happens. Currently, some of our downtown and local restaurants are finding safe, creative ways to keep making us the food we love. Part of the success of local restaurants is in the relationships they have with us, the community. So please, order some takeout and say hello to the people that have been feeding us for years, or buy a gift certificate to use in the future. We leave you with these photos taken by Julie Ann Gagne, a series titled Dining Out at Home. For Your TV, I'm Dan Malta. Have a great weekend.